What's going on, everybody? It is a new day here. It's time to get this truck finally painted and finished. You guys watched last video. We painted the whole thing. We got some runs, sanded out those runs, and now we're gonna do our final coat. I'm painting with a single stage paint, which means it already has the clear in it. We're using a hardener, so everything's hardened. So basically, it's like I'm touching up the spots where I'm respraying, because a lot of the spots are down to like primer and down to the original color of the truck. So those spots are only going to have one coat, but the whole majority of the truck is going to have 2 full coats on it. This does have UV protecting properties and things like that. I'm no painter, guys. You guys have been watching this channel or this series. You guys know this is my first time ever painting a vehicle. So if I say something wrong about a paint gun or about paint, don't go down and roast me. Explain to me down in the comments what I said wrong or what's the correct way to say it, anything like that. Because I don't know what I'm doing and I don't know what I'm talking about. A lot of the things I do on this channel, I kind of have an idea on what I'm doing. Painting is not one of them. I've been so confused this entire time. As you know, I solid axle swap. This is my driveway. I'd never done that before, but it was pretty straightforward of you put the axle here and you hook things up and make it go forward. This, on the other hand, there's so many different little things to it with sanding and what paint you use and what primer you use and what you use to wipe it down and all these different aspects that go into just painting. You'd think it'd just be, oh, you put paint in a gun, you spray. Ain't that simple. Okay, so now I've got to get the bumper, the grill, everything that's in here. I have to get that back out and then do a final wipe down on the truck, and we're basically ready to spray. Now, like I said, if you watched last video, if you haven't already, click right up here, go watch the last video. The reason why I keep saying that is because last video I got a new spray gun and I used that, and when I bought it, I didn't realize it was a 1.7 tip on it. I thought it was a 1.4, which is meant for spraying base and clear. You want to be a little bit smaller of a tip from what I've read. Well, it's a 1.7 and I was like, I already bought it and everything, I might as well just try to make it work. And I laid the paint down way too heavy in a lot of spots. We had waves, we had a lot of runs. So this time I'm going to go slower. I'm going to turn the volume down of the amount of paint that comes in. I'm gonna turn my air pressure down because I had it on 30 before. So I'm gonna put it at like 28. I'm gonna turn my volume of paint down, open my fan up a little bit more, and hopefully we won't get any waves, we won't get any runs. I'm just gonna try and get full coverage. I've already basically done the door jambs. I have a couple spots to touch up in the door jambs and they're done. But I wanna get pretty good coverage on the outside of the truck because I'm ready for this to be done. In this video, you guys are gonna see me finish this. Then about 2 days, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna let this sit in the garage and kind of fully cure everything like that after 2 days. Then I'm gonna back it out. We're gonna repaint the hood. We're gonna paint the bumper. And we're gonna paint these plastics right here on the grill because I'm cutting out this section of the grill for our grill inlay from Tin Dust Customs. You guys haven't already, go check out Tin Dust Customs. I'll have a link to his website. You use code Aaron Cates to save some money over there. But we gotta paint, match those couple things, and then the truck's really done. The thing is though, is once it's done, it's not even technically done yet because I'm painting suspension. So as soon as it basically pulls out of this garage, we're pulling all of the suspension off of it and all of that's going right back in here to paint. But I'm not gonna ramble on anymore. Let's get all this stuff cleaned out. Let's get this truck painted and let's show you guys how you guys can do things on your own. Just think. I know I just said I wasn't gonna ramble on, but just think. I'd say I'm close to $1,000 deep into this paint job now. But for a metallic paint job, full body work, complete color change, door jambs, insides of the doors, outsides of the doors, paint match, the grill, the bumper, the plastics, all these different things, I'm $1,000 in. If you were to pay a shop, you're looking at $6,000 plus. We paid over $4,000 to have my Ford repainted and had a bedside replaced. and they did a terrible job. They did it half-assed, and I'm paying for it 5 years later. This, on the other hand, I'm doing myself. I'm making sure everything's done the way I would like it to be done, and I'm getting a complete color change out of it. If you were to pay a shop, I'm telling you $6,000. So I'm just showing you guys that this is possible to do in a home garage. This truck has 11 inches of lift on it, and I was able to fit it in a 2-car garage. Barely fits, but it happened. So you guys can do this yourself, I promise. Okay, the first thing that I have to point out with painting this truck in this garage, the hardest thing is this right here, this camera. So I can only get this camera in so many spots, and I only have so much time to spray. So once I pour the paint in the gun, I only have so much time before it starts to, get hard in the gun, before it starts to clog, before the paint starts to dry. I only have so much time, so I don't have time to just set the gun down, run over here, grab the camera, move it to another side, move it to another side, move it to another side. I just set it up in one spot and go. And I haven't finished editing the last video yet, but I know when I got over to this side and I finished, the camera was off. And I don't know when it turned off or when it recorded, whatever. So, with that being said, it is very hard to show you guys me spraying this truck. I would like to get more close, like first person, like a GoPro, anything like that, but it's really not possible. So I apologize if that is like the biggest part you guys want to see, is like actual spraying the truck, but I'm doing the best I can because the lighting in here is terrible. We just have the little LEDs up here, and they put out terrible light, just absolutely terrible. So I apologize if lighting or camera work, anything is what you want to see the most. One-man show here, doing what I can. Just want to let you guys know that I know I would like better camera angles. It's just not all that possible. I don't know why, but I find it so cool that the paint does this. So this was sitting in the bottom of the mixing cup. All this color is all the flake that just sat down at the bottom, and this is the actual color of the paint, I'm guessing. But I just find this, it's so cool. I've never really messed with like actual automotive paint before, so it's probably something like that's very normal. I just find it really cool. Guys, see, this is why you want to wear a respirator, because that would be your lungs. I mean, honestly, with this being like straight, like actual automotive paint, this would probably mess you up quite a bit if you were like, oh, I'm just not gonna wear a respirator. You definitely would be feeling this, because I've inhaled a lot of spray paint because just being dumb, not wanting to wear a mask, like, oh, it's just spray paint, it's not really gonna affect me. And I know when I painted the coil springs on the Ford, if you guys missed that video, click up here. When I painted the coil springs on the Ford, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna wear a mask, I'm in a completely ventilated area. I felt it for like 5 days after that. I felt pain in my chest from all the paint I inhaled. Ever since then, always have some type of mask on, because not gonna lie, that was one of the worst feelings, was like breathing and it hurting. So guys, if you're gonna do stuff like this, be protected, do it the right way. I mean, like, honestly, the proper way for me to paint this would be full paint suit, gloves, like the paint boots, full face mask thing, but see, I don't have that. So working with what we got, at least wear a respirator. Protected lungs are what keep you alive. I've got the paint done, cleaned out. I'm gonna do a final wipe down of the truck with a lint-free rag and some denatured alcohol. Just make sure we've got all the like dirt and stuff off of it. I'm sure there's gonna be some in the paint. We're in a garage, but finally about to spray it and be done with it. So I'm actually gonna take the camera out now. My camera's got a lot of overspray on it, and this camera's like $600, $700. It's not a cheap camera, so I don't wanna ruin it. So I'm just gonna show you guys the truck once it's finished. All right, so I literally just came inside. I just did a second coat on it. I'm gonna do a third just because of how light I've been doing them. I think I found the trick to it. It might result in more orange peel, but this third coat I am going to do it thicker on. I'm gonna try to at least, but I think I found the trick. It is to do it super, super light, almost like a dust coat every time. And then this last one, I'm gonna lay it on kind of thick. That way if there is runs, it's in the third coat and I can sand them and polish them out. But I'm gonna try to still not get runs. But this is turning out great, honestly. I've done 2 coats. It's showing orange peel. I'll try and show you guys as much as I can from the door, because I literally just finished out there. So, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it looks very dull. That is because the amount of orange peel in it, I think. It could, when it dries, smoothen out, but that's why this last coat, I'm gonna do it thick to try and lay it down now that there's some base and some color down. It's not like the first time where I laid it on too thick and that was the very first coat. So once I sanded it down, it got rid of all the paint and everything. So I'm very out of breath. I've been rushing. Like I said earlier, I completely understand why painters wear whole paint suits. Guys, my hair is so sticky. Oh my God. I'm completely sticky. This is definitely a mess. The garage is definitely purple. It's gonna take some time to get it cleaned, but I've got a couple more things to paint in there before we finish cleaning it. But like I said, I've done 2 very, very light coats, but I've got it completely covered to where it's all one color. Everything matches. And now when I go back out there, I've got a little bit left in the gallon. I'm gonna open the second one if I have to, but I'm gonna go for a thicker coat. And hopefully this time, get it laid on there nice and good. Everything's uniform. I think we're there, guys. I think we're there. I'm so excited to show this to you guys later today. So if you haven't already, go down, hit the subscribe button, guys. All this channel is about is showing you guys that you guys can do stuff yourself. Okay, before you guys even see the truck, because of course I've already came out here and looked at it. The truck has a lot of orange peel. The reason why it has a lot of orange peel is because I did very light coats with very low pressure to avoid runs, since I'm using the improper size tip gun. So that's why it has a lot of orange peel, but here we go. Like I said, it has a lot of orange peel, but there is now 3 coats on this truck, which means this can be wet sanded easily and all of this buffed out. Not a worry about that. This has enough on it where I can level this paint out and buff it. I'm not worried about that whatsoever. This can be completely fixed. But paint is completely dry. It's been a little over 2 hours since I sprayed the last coat. Door jambs are not perfect. There's a couple spots where like paint didn't quite get everywhere, but for the most part, I'm happy with it. Okay, this might sound dumb, but this is like my favorite part. The fact that the VIN number's there, and then we've got the tire pressure there. Just keeping that factory is like the best part. So we did perfect on this window. There's no overspray anywhere on the window. This one's perfect. I think, yeah, this one's perfect. Nothing on this one, but if we come over, guys, I'm sorry for the freaking, sounds like SpongeBob SquarePants over here. All the hardener and stuff that's in the paint on the ground is just like sticking to my Crocs. But I think it was, oh, see, this window's fine. This one, we've got some overspray right here where like the tape is like coming up. Overspray there. And then we've actually got some paint right here. So we'll have to get that off right here. We'll just come off with a razor blade. The inside, since there's window tint, I'll have to use some type of like mineral spirits or something. Got bags sticking to me. But I mean, for the most part, our tape lines are pretty freaking good. I'm pretty happy with it. So like I said, we're probably gonna end up wrapping the roof. So like the lines right here, you're not gonna see. So you're gonna see the roof vinyl comes to right here, and then it's original color, and then the new color. This will probably all be black vinyl here soon. Everything is sticking to me. But our door jambs painted, they look good. The paint looks good. Like I said, it's got a lot of orange peel. You guys can see it's not super reflective, but there is 3 coats on here. So we'll be able to sand down this top layer nice and smooth and be able to get it how we want it, which I'm happy about. Oh, this is gonna be nice. So that is all for today. Can't do anything else until I can back this out, and I don't want to back this out until, you know, it's been at least wet sanded and polished. I want some type of protection on it. It was just painted this morning, so I don't want to put it in the sun. I did open the garage to kind of let it dry more, let it get a little bit warmer, more temperature on it. It's completely dry now, so nothing's going to stick to it, which is the nice part. But I want it to completely harden and everything. That's why I went ahead and took the tape off. It's 2 hours after I painted it. I didn't want anything to get stuck. Like if the paint completely hardened, I would have to cut my tape to get it off. Like right here, I just found a piece of painter's tape. Oh, I'll try and get that off later. Everything's still a little tacky, but nothing's actually going to stick to it, which is the good part. But the door jambs being painted definitely was a plus. I mean, just being able to open the door and it all be purple, sick. Best thing. Like I said, it's not perfect. There's some spots where you can see like primer and stuff like that. So touch-up gun, touch-up gun definitely in the future. But I'm gonna stop rambling on. I'm gonna pick you guys up in like 2 days once this is like completely hardened and we can wet sand it. So I'll see you then. All right, so first off, I just want to say thank you. You guys absolutely are killing the painting the truck video. The video is over 100 likes and it's only been posted for just over 24 hours, which is insane for my channel. So thank you guys for smashing the like button. You guys are absolutely killing it. For one, like my purple camo Crocs, one of a kind. In my very purple garage. Someone did comment on the last video of painting this and said that I should have block sanded the entire truck with 600. I think you are right. I think that is a big reason why the orange peel is as bad as it is because there's a lot of spots that were smooth that I just went ahead and sprayed again. So I feel like if I would have block sanded this whole thing, probably would have turned out a little bit better, but hey, you live and you learn. That's something I was telling somebody on Instagram today. Someone had messaged me and was talking about how doing stuff yourself, you get that sense of accomplishment, and that is the truest thing ever. But the biggest blessing with doing things yourself is you start it afraid. You start worried that you're gonna mess it up, that you're gonna waste your money. And then you realize like, oh wow, that really wasn't that bad. It didn't turn out that great, but I know what to do next time to get a better result. And every single time you do that, you're gonna say the same exact thing. Every single time you do it, you're like, whoa, I just found an easier way to make this turn out better. Each time it's gonna get easier and easier and easier. So this was my very first paint job. I'm telling you guys now, I've never used a paint gun before that tailgate. The tailgate was the first thing I ever painted. Then I did the hood and then jumped right into a whole truck. First time I'd ever painted, and we got, I think, great results. I mean, a lot of orange peel, but I think this is fixable. Even if it doesn't come out perfect, it's still the experience, the factor of saying I did this is the coolest part. So guys, do stuff yourself. Don't pay a shop to do something. I don't want shops to like go out of business, but at the same time, learn to do it yourself. It's a great feeling, and it's even cooler to be able to say I did that and I can do it again. And then you're gonna have people like, whoa, you painted that? Paint this for me. And it just opens up opportunities for you to grow consistently. So this right here is a kit I bought from Walmart, and it's meant for polishing for wet sand, everything. You get 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. So you want to start out at your 1,000, sand through that, 1,500, 2,000, and then up to 2,500. And then that's when you want to go to your compound or your polish. Instead of doing the entire truck in this video, I'm actually just going to start on a bedside. Since a bedside is a large surface, I'm just going to, basically I'm gonna start from like here over. I'm gonna wet sand all of this. We're gonna get a wool pad from Harbor Freight and polish it. And if this turns out great, fantastic. If not, I then know not to waste my entire life sanding all of this. I don't want it showroom quality. I don't want this truck to be like showroom professional paint job, like you see it in the middle of a dealership, something like that. I want this paint job to be nice, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I painted it in my garage, so even if it just has a good reflection to it, I'm happy. So I just want this nice. Okay, so I'm curious about something. I'm a good 17 minutes into this, and there's obviously still texture, but I mean, this is very, very bad orange peel. This isn't like just a small amount of orange peel, kind of like the first time I painted in the last video when you guys saw. That had very minimal orange peel because I put it on very, very wet. This one I did a low pressure, and I didn't put it on very wet, and that's why I have such bad orange peel. But I'm curious, if I were to get some 1000 grit for a DA sander, if I could wet sand it with the DA and then do by hand with the 1500, 2500, because I need to get it down fast, and I'd rather mess up right here and just have to repaint this rather than have to repaint a whole side. So I think I'm gonna make a quick trip to Harbor Freight and see if I can get 1000 grit for a DA. Okay, so unfortunately I obviously didn't get the whole bedside done, and really this section's not done. It still needs to be sanded more, but I'm out of time for today, and you know, I kind of need to upload a video to kind of update you guys on what's going on. So I'm sorry this video wasn't really exciting, but the truck is fully painted now. Now the only thing we have to do is get rid of the orange peel, but that requires a lot of sanding. So by the time you guys are seeing this, I'm probably already started wet sanding, but if you have any tips for me, go ahead and drop it down in the comments, and hopefully I wouldn't have already done the whole truck, and your tip might help me out some. So I'm gonna close this video out, guys. I gotta get to work for the afternoon, but I'll catch you in the next one. So thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, drop a like on this video, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.